Judy from Witchpeace Craft. Welcome to today's video. What's in my bag? Bits and pieces from October. I'll be sharing with you finished objects, different things. So, what's in my polar bear bag? Shall we get started? Now I've got a few notes because it's quite a bit and quite a few different things I'll have to shout out. Where do I start? Well, market prep. I've been doing market prep for weeks now. My big market is this Sunday, and it's usually quite good sales, although we received an email saying there'll be no ATM at the market. The gentleman who supplies the ATM machine will be away, so there'll be no ATM at the market. There's one that not far away, but it's a bit of a walk and you'd have to get into your car. So hopefully people will still come along. I do have my FPOS, so let's see how we go. Market prep, first one. I'll just get organized, won't be a moment. First one out of the bag, I made a rubber duck. This little rubber duck I made in Portercraft yarn. It's really quite bright, and a 4.5 millimeter crochet hook, and it's an Instagram pattern, and yet again I can't remember who it's by. I will be making more of these. This makes duck number 3. I probably may make 1 or 2 more of these before the weekend. They're a quick make and they do sell well. I've got some bigger ones, but this is probably the popular size. So that's the first thing out of my bag. And then I have, and hopefully you have a good sense of humor. I made a loaf cat. This is made in Mill Ends. I think it's called Fiber Hearts Phonam. I really like this little loaf cat she does with his whiskers and everything, and his tail. And then Reeve said he needs a chocolate starfish, so we gave him a chocolate starfish. Hopefully that'll make someone laugh. But there you go. He has his chocolate starfish. It's a lovely yarn. It's beautiful and soft. Lovely to work with. It's a pity we don't know what the mill ends are. I'm feeling this might be like, I don't know. I'm not going to guess. But yes, that's my loaf cat for the market. How many I've got 2. One made already, this one, but one left over, this one, and I've got another one because I said I was going to make 2. He's ready to be stuffed, the other one. There you go. Will I give the other one a chocolate starfish? Possibly. So the most popular item, which if you've been following me for a while, you know, is my tea towels. Now the last video I showed you a stack and said how many do you think there are, and there are a few guesses. 2 people got it right. There were 15. I actually thought there were 16, but I had to recount. There were only 15. So in 2 weeks I made 15, 1 a day with a spare one in there. And I have been making more tea towels. Now the lower price group, I can sell quite a few of them, and I need quite a few of them. So I keep doing different colors, and I finally did a Christmas one with Santa on. So in total, I think I checked yesterday with these, and I made some more expensive ones. I did a Christmas one with pets, which is the more expensive ones, and then just a beigey one, which, believe it or not, I do get asked quite a bit for a neutral color. They're the other price groups. So I counted this morning. I think I've got 35. I have taken 40 before and sold 39. So anything over 40 will be great. But yes, they are my #1 seller. It's always good to have something that pulls the parents in, because then the kids start checking out the plushies. So where am I next? What's in the bag next? Crochet roulette. We had to make something in purple, and it had to be a free pattern. and now I've put one away. I don't know why he went away. Oh, maybe because it's a turtle. I'll get back to that. First one I made was I made the jellyfish, and it's a tutorial by Crafty Chaos Emporium. It turns out really well, and I had 4 at my last market and I sold one, so I've made another one. I'm going to keep a stock level of 4, and I really like it. It's just mill ends, all mill ends, because that's one of the most, probably one of the only yarns we can count on that we can get, and then always great colors. But I think he's a great jellyfish. Now, I made a matching turtle in the same colorways, and the tutorial was by No Catchy Name. He's away for a reason, because I have to apologize. I said in my video, and I didn't give him a tail, that turtles here don't have tails. Wrong, wrong, wrong. I have a friend who's a marine biologist has said to me, they do have tails. They're just very small, so that when they're swimming around, it looks like they don't have tails. He said, some of the turtles in the Northern Hemisphere have quite long tails, but ours are very small and hardly noticeable. So I had to take my purple turtle and my other turtle, and I have to give them tails, because he said, but they're not true if they don't have a little tail. So there you go. I had someone tell me, oh, our turtles don't have tails, and he said, wrong, 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 wrong. He's a friend of Reeves, and he's a marine biologist, so who should know, him or me? I think it's him. So that was in my bag. I really like this tutorial. I hope I sell more of them. I'd really like to sell all 4. It's quick, easy make, and it's a great tutorial by Kim at Crafty Chaos Emporium. So that's another item for market prep. So mostly what's in my bag is a market prep, and that was for Crochet Roulette. So I took the opportunity with a make along to make something for my market. It all just worked out fine. So then I've been doing the make along random acts of Crochet Kindness with Rose, and for October we had to make, we could make ice creams to give away. And I came across a pattern. I really like the look of it because it reminded me of the ice creams we get at the cinema here. Usually they're choc tops. They usually got chocolate on top. But I just did 3. 1 in lemon, 1 in yellow, 1 in orange, scrap yarn. I think I did something wrong there because he turned out smaller, or whether it was the yarn I used. But I made 3, and I had a pink one, which is 4. And these are for random acts of Crochet Kindness. I will be bagging these up, and I'm planning on leaving them around the craft market on the weekend to give away. What do you think? Now, who is the pattern by? Because it's really good. I haven't written it down. Look, it's a pattern on Ravelry, and what it is, it's a free pattern, and you click the link and it takes you to her blog. So that will be in the description below, along with all the other tutorials I've used, whatever information. But if you really want to check that out, and they do stand up like an ice cream from the cinemas here. I don't know if you get these overseas in your cinemas, but that's what they're like. So that was week 9, I think, Crochet Roulette. Week 10 was different. It was a protective cover in stripes, and I thought, well, I've made plenty of Kindle covers. I've made Kindle covers for things Kindle, Reeves's Kindle. I've made water bottle covers. I could make a Tea Cosy cover, and then I thought, no. I don't know why I thought of it. It might have been talking to my son in London where the weather's getting cooler, and head protectors, beanies, hats, sun hats. They are a cover protector for your head. So I decided I would make this beanie. This is one of my favorite bag a day tutorials, and I made it in this yarn that was sent to me by Barbara. which is I love this yarn, and that's Saxon barking at the postman. He's out there with Thing wandering around. So yes, this is I love this yarn. It's beautiful and soft. I have been using it for something else, but I knew I could use this amount for a beanie. So thank you, Barbara. This is gorgeous yarn. Real nervous hiccups. Really is. Now the pattern is I think it's like the chocolate bonbon beanie. It's a unisex beanie by Bag O' Day. It is one of my favorite go-tos. Now I put, this was my head protector in deconstructed stripes because it had to be striped. And why is it deconstructed? Because the stripes don't continue. They fade and then it goes to another stripe halfway around. So I felt like the stripes were being, like you really see it there, deconstructed. They weren't full, complete stripes. And that's why I called it that. And yeah, I used a 5mm crochet hook. I really like this pattern. I don't think I've said that enough. But that is, well, it was for week 10 of Crochet Roulette, which is coming to an end. But Tracy at Travel Crochet is going to start the travel wheel, which is travel wheel roulette. Maybe she'll call it that. I don't know. Same sort of concept, but she'll be the only one doing it, and it'll be once a fortnight. And it is a lot of fun because you can double dip with different make-alongs, or you can incorporate it into your market prep or gift making. So check that out when she brings it out. Tracy at Travel Crochet. So this one, I think I bought this pattern way back in July or August. I'd seen someone make them, and now I know everybody's making them. But I didn't have the right colours, or enough of the right colours to finish it off. And the only way I could do it properly is to wait till I got some colours in from Portercraft, which is not the best plushy yarn, but it's not bad. It crochets really well. It sews horribly. It shreds the minute you try to sew it. So you have to come up with other ideas. So the pattern I have made is the baby Demi pattern, which is the Demigone, I think that's what they call it, from Stranger Things. There you go. I've only made one. I don't know if I'll have time to make more. It turned out really well. I really like it. I believe they are popular market mates and sellers, so we will see. But it's a paid for pattern on Etsy by Just Mom Crochet. There were lots of tester pictures. I did buy it quite a while ago and just never got around to making it because I never really had the colors. Because I don't think you can really make it to be recognizable in other colors. I think it has to be that. So that was what I made. I used Portercraft in a 4.5mm crochet hook. And like I said, crocheting wise, it's okay. It's soft. It sheds a bit when you sew it. Sheds a lot. So you have to come up with other ways to finish off your ends. So in the previous video for Pink October, I said I got carried away for Halloween. Wait a minute, we've got a plane going over. Halloween's not big here. We had no one in our little residential area around us. No children going around requesting trick or treat. No one. 2 houses at the bottom of the cul-de-sac attempted to put some decorations, but they got no one knocking on their door. It is not a big thing. But Friday night, we don't get a lot of takeaway, mainly because it's disappointing. It's never great. There seems to be shrinkflation on takeaway. You're getting less and less, and it's costing you more and more. And I usually make something easy. And I decided, because I know Reeves really likes them and Thing really likes them, I'd make Swedish meatballs. This is a bit of a story, so I hope you're ready for it. And then the night before, because Reeves introduced me to this Aussie guy who has a channel, does cooking, comedy, music. He's funny. And he has his girlfriend doing the filming. I love his girlfriend's laugh. I know a lot of people don't like it, but her laugh is exactly like my mother's laugh was. When Mum used to laugh, everyone would look. And this girl, Jules, has the same laugh as my mother. So I always smile. Anyway, we watched this show. He was showing me this show, different things he makes. And he made a meatloaf and he called it a feet loaf. He put it in the shape of a foot. So I'm making Swedish meatballs and I decide, no, I'm going to do feet loaf. So I made 3 little feet loaf, 3 meatloaves in the shape of feet with my Swedish meatball recipe. And I put capsicum, I used little chipolata sausages for the toes that I had, and little capsicum for toenails, red capsicum. Now the photo I put on Instagram looked quite gross. Not a lot of people liked it, but I must admit, the boys said it tasted awesome. It just looked gross. I did mashed potato with cheese and some other veggies with it. And yeah, it was sort of like, this is your Halloween treat, feet loaf. The boys cracked up. Reeves really cracked up. He said, I never thought you'd make it. And he encouraged me to post the photo, but I don't think many people liked it. They sort of went, oh, it looks gross. It tasted fine. The boys loved it. They said, do it again, maybe next year. So the channel I watched with Reeves is called Nat's What I Reckon. He does have a potty mouth. However, he's had to make some adjustments for YouTube. So if you want to watch the videos unedited, you join his Patreon, his swear jar. I don't really need that. Whenever we're feeling like there's nothing really we want to watch and he releases a video, Reeves will go, he's dropped another one. And he's really quite healthy cooking in the sense he discourages using jars, foods, pre-made pasta sauces. He shows you, and that's why I like Reeves watching. It shows people the basics of cooking without spending a fortune on pre-packaged goods and jars and using things that aren't really healthy. He's great. I love him and I love listening to his girlfriend laugh. I really do. Because I think she must be reincarnated, my mother, because she has the same laugh. Anyway, guys, I'll put a link to his channel. It might not be your cup of tea, but that's why I made feet loaf for Halloween. I thought I'd better explain because a lot of people didn't like it. Well, not didn't like it, just sort of freaked out about it. So moving on from that Halloween, and that's why that story was there, is we're coming up for Christmas. Now, I don't do a lot of Christmas projects. I do, a bit here and there. And with the market, last year I look back, I sold 5 tea cozies, and they were tea cozies that were like novelty tea cozies. They had a look about them. And I realized I didn't have a lot of those. And I decided I would make one. And this has been in the back of my mind for a few years, that this is how we would do it. It was a request by a lady, and I bought the pattern, and the pattern was useless. The pattern she showed me. And I never ended up finishing that pattern because it just, I don't know, it was too small, it didn't look right. And I never contacted her to say that I've had a go at it. And if she's at the market, she'll see this one and I'll explain to her then. So she wanted this snowman tea cozy. And this was in the back of my mind for a long time. So I have made Avalanche Point 2 tea cozy. Why Avalanche Point 2? Well, I'll explain about the tea cozy in a minute, what I made and how I did it. Avalanche is a pattern by Yarn Tails and Hook. I think that's what she calls her pattern. Yeah, Yarn Tails and Hooks. She changed the name of her channel. It used to be something else. Amiteur. Now, I won 4, or was given 4 of her amigurumi patterns by Lynette at Charm Grammy during a make-along. And one of them was Avalanche. One of them was Jumping Jacks the Frog, which I've made. I'm trying to think. One of them might have... I've got quite a few of Anita's patterns because when I did a make along for Rock 2022, she designed the rock star bear, which is quite popular. I keep saying I need to make that. Anyway, Avalanche is an amigurumi, and I thought, I wonder if I can adapt her pattern to a tea cozy, and that's what I did. It's got his head, his nose, his scarf, his arms. I just changed the body, and I didn't crochet the buttons. I had these beautiful buttons my friend Ulia gave me, so I put those on there, and he's got 2 button eyes and eyebrows. But that is Avalanche Point 2, thanks to Yarn Tales and Hook Anita. Anita has a shop on Ravelry. I think it's Anita and her surname. I can't remember. I'll put a link to her shop. She has some great patterns, really does, and I should make more of them. So I used Spotlight 10-ply acrylic, and then the red is Red Heart Super Saver. I think hers is blue, and would I make it again? Definitely. Could I make it again? Definitely. Not that difficult to make the body. Should I make it again? Yes, in another color. So would I, could I, should I? Definitely. Out of everything I made this week, the Tea Cosy is probably the one that really made me feel good about what I do. I know they are a unique item. Not everybody's into them, but I think he turned out really well. And much better than the pattern the lady told me that she wanted to, if I could make it, have a go at, because it turned out incredibly small. So between the jellyfish and the Tea Cosy, I had a really great week because I really enjoyed these. I enjoyed making the demigod. Everything I made, I've got some enjoyment from. So that's what's important to me now, is to get some sort of enjoyment and satisfaction out of what I make. I will sell this. It won't be a problem. There are people out there who will come along and go, I have to have that. And I do sell them now, much more expensive than I used to. They're not out of everyone's price range, but yeah, other than one item in my Tea Cozies never go over $30. And yet I've seen Tea Cozies like this sell for $75, $150. What do you think to Avalanche Point 2? Isn't he cute? I really like it. I thought it turned out really well. So that's it for me, for what's in my bag. For my bag is now disappeared on the floor. Definitely empty for November. I don't know what we're doing for random acts of kindness for November. I haven't been catching up on too many videos. I'll have to do that this week. And I still have more market prep to do. Little bits and pieces and signage and be ready. I'm one of those people that has to be super organized. So when I go, that's it. It's not, where are we putting this? What am I putting? What sign am I putting on this? It's like, that will go there. That's its sign. And I think that's what Thing likes when he helps me. It's not a lot of standing around waiting for decisions. It's just done. Guys, I hope you liked what I made and the things that I liked that were in my bag. Let me know what was your favorite. And yes, stay tuned for more videos. Not just market prep. Maybe a knitting video should be done soon. Stay well, stay safe, and try checking out Yarn Tales and Hooks patterns for her amigurumi. I haven't made any in plushie yet, but maybe I might try and adapt one to plushie. They are decent sized amigurumis when you make them. Bye for now.